And good afternoon. We are back again live after not being able to broadcast last Saturday for some reasons. And so, we're back. I hope that you're going to join us till the end of our episode this afternoon. We have questions. We have questions that we're going to answer this afternoon. Questions like, is creativity exclusive? Is being creative a power? How can we tap and maximize our creativity? The answers to this and more in today's inspiring and empowering episode of your favorite Saturday afternoon show in Harmony COVID Conversation. So, join us this afternoon. See you in a bit. Yes, hello mga ka-IH! Happy Sabbath and good afternoon sa ato ang tanan. Hello Cagayan de Oro, Mindanao, Visayas, Luzon, Philippines, and the rest of the world who are watching us this afternoon. Hello Doc Grant, ang pinakauna. First, ingon siya, first honor, Gibbs is the Doc Grant. I miss you! O karon magpadayon ta sa atong pagchika-chika. And Manens, are you representing your mama karong hapuna? salamat sa pag-join sa tuwa this afternoon. And this afternoon is extra special, like we always prepare for you, because we will be joined by our co-host, Earl. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So yeah, I'm back from the land of the dead. Char lang.
There is resurrection nga nangyari.
Okay.
Di ba?
1 month. 2 months.
Ba? 2 months. Almost 2 months. Di ba? Kay the
Yeah.
last nga nakita ka sa atong mga ka-IH was during our first
New Year's Eve.
episode. Di ba? Sa second season. Di ba?
Technically
Sa pa to.
speaking, ako. New Year's
Wow,
Eve, yes.
grabe. That was like, di na po siya iyon. Pero bitaw, I felt like February is the longest month of the year. Grabe siya. Murag daghang kag
Oo.
nahitabo sa kuha. Kumusta sa imuha diha, Earl? How was your February so far?
Actually, I do agree nga, it really went by slow. Kay, murag daghan gyapon events na nahitabo throughout. And yeah, it just felt like so far the longest month the longer month when compared to January.
No? Di ba
Yeah.
ironically 28 days ra
28
siya?
days.
Oh, pero like
It felt like 40.
yeah, mura lagi kog ingon ko nga, wait lang, murag December na ko ani pagmata na nako sunod tungod sa kadaghan sa mga buhaton, daghan kay na nga hitabo, nya mura bitaw but we're glad weekend na pud siya, nakahuman ta sa itong mga trabaho, di ba? O
Yes.
kanang we are back again broadcasting and we are so grateful pod no sa ato adiri sa Cagayan nga we were kept safe from the hagupit ni Madam Auring. Pero nagpray pud ta nga kanang kuan asa katong mga affected nato nga mga kapwa nato no. I hope that they will be able to kanang recover.
Especially sa, I think, Caraga area, mas siguro to, no? Grabe lang
Tinoo.
baka and kuan. Gado sa to, dire, it's more of like, ulan-ulan lang, but then,
Mm-mm.
sa ila is dito rin nagrabihan. So, hopefully, they'll be able to recover.
Yehey, lagi ba? So, sige lang kay let's just keep the faith sa ato ang mga kapwa, no? And atong basahon siguro ning mga nag-greet sa ato of course. Hello Perlet, we miss you. Good afternoon IH.
For guys, like on, char lang.
Ah, Grabe kay pahinapon sa
Because
bulan na pagyud gihapon, di ba? Chows. And of course, hi Wang. I
hi
miss
Sir Josh.
you. Di ba? Hi Josh, ang mga hapon mga ka-H. Og ingon gyud ni agree gyud si Sir John.
Mm.
JD Mayor. It felt
Ay,
like
naging si
dugay
Yorme.
pero among gugmawa na.
Oh, grabe sir. End of February, hugot
Ah.
gyapon. Sige lang sir,
Grabe,
pahabol,
di ba?
pahabol.
Pahabol ba? Ay nako, sige lang Sir John. Kay basin pa di ay, 'di ba, new face, new beginning and that, 'di ba? Og karong nagpadayon ta, Tita Earl, ito mga ka-IH din na, no? By
Yeah.
the way, before tayo proceed, you can make comment below for your greetings and in your join us in our conversation later because no jam packed kaayo ta karon nga afternoon, di ba? Not only because this afternoon is extra special because we are celebrating the National Arts Month. So we have artists in our guests, di ba? Karon we'll start off with, of course, no less than the artistic director and cultural worker Hobart Savior. You've seen the poster nato. Naana siya diha sa backstage nakita. Salamat kaayo sa mga pag-atiman. Di ba? It will be okay later. We will listen to his story. And of course, we also have the guest student siya, 'di ba Earl nga
Yes.
kanang sa ato USTP nga kanang he uses his artwork. Basta nice na yung story na lang kung mo spill, 'di ba? But sa atong mga ka-USTP din ha, you know him.
Shout out.
And yeah, shout out din ha sa itong mga trailblazers. 'Di ba? And of course, we also the usual na to no mga advocates nga mga technology communication management mga students ni Mayor. 'Di ba? So, what are you waiting for? Daghang kay tagdindot nga mga stories karon in celebration of artists and other nato nga mga kanang advocates, no? So share naman ang ato ang live karon. Check it out sa ato ang In Harmony nga page and you may comment below. So, we begin with atong tan-awon kung unsa ato ang quote or ato ang Bible verse karong afternoon. Ba? Ayun. Maulawan ta ani ni Hobart sakto ba kung pagka-pronounce? Unsa na siya
Henry
Earl? Sakto na siya Henry
Matisse, I think.
Matisse?
Yeah.
Ba? Henry Matisse?
Henry
Oh,
Matisse.
creativity takes courage. So, unsay mong thoughts ana?
I think siguro throughout history, it is evident nga murag ang society we have this kind of box that we create for everyone. But then the cycle goes on and on. Tapos it really takes creativity to try and innovate, and katong nga mga innovations they basically change the cycle, and
Yeah.
to express your creativity you really have to take courage, because if you want to be something else rather than just be another spoke in the wheel, another cog in the machine, then you really have to take courage.
Correct. Lagi ba? Kay ana gyud siya kay mura bitaw siya. I don't know ha kani gyud kay my story gyud nato later. Kani si Hobart gyud but you see creativity magod sometimes you have to move out from the conventional, 'di ba? From the
Yes,
conventions.
exactly.
Create. So mo nang you have to take courage. And ako ba I see it bitaw like ikaw Earl imuhang program of study your degree is physics and yet while you were in college naana ka sa atong Trailblazer, di ba? You're the editor-in-chief. And that's so
Joke lang to,
different.
share
Oh,
lang.
so tino na siya. Okay.
Ako tong
Onya,
kambal.
you're into here, di ba? So, mura bitaw, that's different from physics. But, you see, makita na siya. But, I mean, there's a good friend of mine, si Sir Bing Carino diha sa Jansan, also a cultural worker says, because others think, my God, that there's no science in creativity. There is.
There is,
Ingon
yes.
siya, in art,
Even
there
even
is.
science is powered by creativity. I mean, a lot of,
Correct.
speaking of the Da Vinci's and everyone else, science,
Mao.
everything basically is fueled by creativity.
Oo. Ba? Ayun. So, ano siya, you have to take courage to be able to move out of the convention and break free. So, mo nang giingon ni Henry Matisse, creativity takes courage. And because of that creativity pod, Earl, 'di ba? Moving on to our discussion sa tong conversation this afternoon. There's this bunch of students we've been featuring na siya no for quite some time na. I think
Yes.
ikaupat na ni sila nga grupo from the Technology Communications Management of the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines under sa class ni Mayor bitaw John David Moncada. So we bring out na napod sila introduce karon. Hello, hello, hello. And then I leave this
Hi.
all to you, Earl, to Chika.
Yes.
Hi, good
Yun.
Sige nga.
afternoon.
Hello, sir. May, si Yorme.
Hi.
Uh,
Nanog
so,
yung
sir,
na-mayor yun ko.
Juan, Mayor
Yes,
Cecilia,
Earl.
no?
Good afternoon.
Charla. Good afternoon. And to your student, Miss Johanna, unsa ba na pronounce?
Yeah, Johanna. Hi,
Johanna.
Johanna.
Okay. Sige. So, Tod,
I think
unsa na
I
sila nga
think
year?
I think there's a problem with her volume.
Ah, yeah.
Volume ni Johanna,
Uh,
please. Okay.
louder pa po. Ah, kulang
Murag
pagyapon.
hinay gyapon.
Hinay mong audio.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, while she's fixing it, what is it
Yeah.
again,
So,
Earl?
Sir, I just want to know, unsa na sila nga kuan? Like these are your students and unsa na sila nga like what kuan na year are they in na ba?
Yeah. So, these are technology communication management students in USTP CDO campus, and they've enrolled in the course digital activism. So that's a new course offered in the program of TCM. Now, since we have revised the curriculum for TCM, so we've included this one, and also it was timely because I had a training no, on media campaigns for development and social change. And so, yeah, they are third year students. So digital activism is a course offered in the third year of the TCM program. Yep.
Okay. So, just want to know more about the program. Unsay like more the rationale on nganong they need to engage into digital activism.
Yeah, because for one, we have the technology, and so we've thought of like why not use technology for social change, diba? Because we
Okay.
know nga sa I think the message can be spread faster. We can go viral with the use of technology. So we have that platform now. So why not make use of it for a good cause, like addressing certain social issues. So that's why we offer that course.
So, kini sila free range to think about unsa klase nga social engagement ilahang ko ano, ilahang i-pursue, correct?
Yeah. So
So,
I've asked them to like think of like what social issues that they would want to address no through a campaign. So I gave them the freedom no to, and it's also like kanang had gave them a chance to like really be kanang bitang participative and
mhm,
not kanang bitang socially aware, no, socially
yes.
aware of like the things going on. So I think that's very very important, especially for our youth today.
Okay. So, let's ask Johanna. Um, mura kulang pa imuhang kuan output. Hello? Yeah, hinay siya.
Yeah, that's better.
Anyways,
That's better.
louder me. Hinay. Uh, anyway, how did you kuan? Like, unsay uh, what motivated you to have that advocacy? First of
Um,
all, unsa na inyong advocacy about?
okay, ang among campaign is entitled Fight the Virus, Not Our Heroes. It is a
Okay.
campaign that is against discrimination to medical frontliners in Cagayan de Oro because in this time of health crisis, our medical frontliners are risking their lives and serving the public for medical assistance. And we have seen many social media posts and news articles that says na ginadiscriminate sila and na ay mga instances na dili sila gina-acknowledge. So we have come up to the this idea na mao ni siya nga campaign na we should treat our frontliners as our heroes, our modern heroes, and not the virus themselves.
Okay. So how did you go about it? Ano sa yung strategy in trying to spread the word out?
Okay, we made a video, sir, a campaign video of 1 to 2 minutes, and this video is inspired by a medical frontliner herself in City Hospital. She's a doctor, and amo siyang gi-relate ang story or gi-inspire ang story about ani nga she is a mother of 2 kids, and also amo siyang para makakonect pod ang people or ang common people sa frontliner nga naapod sila ay normal lives, na ay family nga gahulat sa ila sa ilang home, and inana sir nga they are the same, we are the same, just that nga mas prone sila sa virus or sa COVID nga atong gina-experience karon.
Okay. So like kung sa lugar imong mga memorable experiences in doing this kind of campaign. I mean, knowing online tanan, so how say like how did you manage to do all it, and what was the memorable things that you experienced?
Yes sir, struggle gid kayo because of the internet connection, of course, kay lisod kayo ang virtual karon, but nakaya ra pod sa among group mates and gamit mi virtually, and also ang amo ang doctor nga among nakita or ang medical frontliner nga among nakita is through ano lang sad siya, social media sir, and dito ra pod mi nag-communicate sa iyaha na sir.
Okay. So Sir John, nakoy
Yes.
question for you. How did you manage this kind of creativity? Like, do the students get permission from you or unsa ba?
Yeah. I taught them like a technique to be able to identify the main question or the main issue that they should be addressing through their campaign. So it was kinda kanang puti kay siyang process sa pag-create nila sa ilahang campaign, no, kay like the mapping technique itself, it's ano gid kay siya kanang puti siya ba, so kinahanglan gid sila og guidance, no, in every step of the technique. And then also I asked them to watch YouTube videos nga are also kanang advocacy videos, kay para at least naa sila idea, and then perhaps they can modify or like it can probably kanang stimulate them to think of like what else, what other creative ways that they can do kay para nga makaproduce sila eventually sa ilahang video.
Okay. So Joanna,
Yes sir.
before anything else, unsa ba atong imong message for the viewers on na once atong ipakita ang video, like they would get it?
We all know that medical frontliners are enduring long hours of work and serving the public, so we would like to end the stigma of discrimination against them and the stigma that perpetuates hate in the community of here in Cagayan de Oro. So hence, the public should also care for them through showing support, gratitude, and appreciation. So, this video means to show awareness to the people to treat medical frontliners as heroes and not the virus. So, in order for us to do this, there are 2 media influencers in the video from different radio platforms who have spoken against this stigma.
Okay. So ato nang ipakita. Ready na ta?
Lunes lumabas ang mga ulat na may mga health workers gaya ng mga doktor at nurse, gayon din ang iba pang medical staff
is Mr. Patrick Tablon from Bombo Radio Philippines. They endure hours of work away from their home.
Every day they risk their lives for our safety. And now as we enter the new chapter of 2021, may we also choose to show love and gratitude to our frontliners who are continuously giving their full service for the greater good of all.
Talking in this time of crisis, we should choose to give hope, bring light and joy to everyone around us.
Fight the virus, not the heroes.
Alright, so mo to ang video sa atong ang advocacy. So ito ilang kwan sir, ilang name sa advocacy
Fight.
fighting.
Yeah, fight the virus, not the frontliners or not the heroes, something like that. Yeah. So thank you so much, Johanna, and to your group.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, and we hope na your campaign would really change the mindset of our, not just the Cagayanons, but the Filipino people in general, considering unsa ka crucial ang mga panahon karon. So,
Yeah.
thank you po, sir.
Thank you.
So, can we welcome back Ma'am Angel?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Hi, Ma'am Angel. There.
Ay.
Yes, na si
Ayun.
Ma'am.
Wala kay audio, ma'am. More na audio difficulty si ma'am.
Ma'am Angel? Ma'am Angel? We can't hear you, ma'am. Ma'am, we can't hear
Wala
you.
gid siya audio. Ma'am, wala kay audio. Okay. Anyway, sir, can you remember na to napalit isa ka kuan? Katong si
Yep.
katong art for cash,
Mm-mm.
I think.
So,
Yeah.
while we wait for Ma'am Angel, yeah, we also have a segment this afternoon. We will feature an artist because this month it is National Arts Month, no? This year, and the theme this year is Alab singing Alay Saya. If I'm not mistaken, that's the theme for this year's National Arts Month. So the thing about the theme talks about like the passion that we have for arts. We hope that this will eventually make people happy and forget at least for a while itong mga negative na mga effect
Audio. Hello? Are we live? I think.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Yes.
Herb, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir. I can. So, asa kayo tato? Where were we?
Yeah, as what I was saying, we have a segment for this afternoon's episode that will feature student artists, and these student artists comes from USTP CDO campus,
Mhm.
and we have him now as somebody that will feature for this afternoon's episode because we're celebrating a National Arts Month. And as what I was saying earlier, that the theme for this year's National Arts Month is Alab Sining, Alay Saya. So I think the intention for this is that, at least through arts, uh, parang it can cause joy and happiness na amidst the
Yes.
pandemic that we're experiencing now.
Mhm.
So we have student artists that will feature this afternoon. So I actually have interviewed him like, a month ago, and then that was really a memorable experience for me.
Mhm.
And then I really had a good time na talking with him and getting to know him. Ready for this feature sa karong episode nato that is In
Okay.
Harmony. Yep.
So, what is this concert about? Can you give us more on
Uh,
what does he do?
yeah. Should I tell you now or should we play the video? I'm
Um,
not so sure.
let's primer seta. Let's okay. So video. Okay, so now let's just share lang naman ato ang video para pud makagets sila
Okay,
ang atong
yeah.
mga viewers
So,
on sa siya.
ladies and gentlemen, let's watch this short video that I created now that will feature. His name is Jason, so it's Jison. His name is Jason, and then he's again a third-year student, environmental science student in University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines. So please watch and get inspired by his story.
Okay. Um, pwede na ito ma-share screen, sir? Ato. Should we play?
Their 86th birthday this month. Portrait of herself as my gift.
Tanawa din and say kung chada ba?
Luckily, my student recommended to me a young artist who he knows who can do the job.
Awat ang pagka-drawing.
And that young artist's name is Jason Galasinda.
So, welcome to my house, and then this is my room. So, where I do my workout, to my work. So, essentially, medyo pag moingon gagroom sa artist, sometimes sinlo, sometimes gubot.
When I visited him in their house in Balulang, Cagayan de Oro City, I've seen how good of an artist
So,
Jason
mga
is.
bigger portrait na. So, ginatry na ako na why not try a bigger portrait to challenge your patience. Wala akong answer. Nakakita na ako, try another way of approach in how to progress So, on myself is detailing is one of the hard things ako as an starter, as an practitioner sa art. And then nakita na ako nga, patience.
Right. Okay. Medyo ano gyud ta karong panahon no? The
There's
reality
mga
of
issues.
in the two busy kaayo nga atong mga issues karong panahon na it would have been nice nice kaayo tong interview ni Sir John, but nevertheless no, we will post that still in our page so that they will
Yes.
see the full interview of Sir John. But Sir John, share na lang sa imong experience be how was it actually? Na shock ko kay nara siya sa unahan namo. Wala ko
Yeah, actually,
kahibalo.
Silingan.
Ba?
Actually, yeah, I was gonna tell you that, pero I only was reminded after I shared to you the memorable experience that I had doing the interview with him. Pero I'm not gonna
Correct.
share the experience that I had, but I'm just gonna go straight into like the you know the details of information about Jason being an artist. So I actually I was able to get to know Jason because of the post that I made, because yeah, we decided to have a segment or to feature a student artist, and then I made an announcement on Facebook in USTP, and then I was surprised because there are a lot of students who actually commented. And so that made me think na daghan gid kay mga artistic na mga tao sa USTP. No, daghan kayo mga talented o
Ay, apil na jud ko diha.
Exempted dyan
no?
ko. Wala
So,
dyan.
dagan
Maamin
din
ako.
ang mga gifted na mga students when it comes to art. So, but then among the many, I don't know, but I was directed to Jason, and then I chatted with him, and then I asked him if it's okay to feature him, and then he said yes. Pero actually, mga 2 weeks pa, it took 2 weeks after that, ay pa din ko naka-adto din sa ilaha. And then there, giadto ko silang balay sa Balulang, and then dito na ko nakita ng how good of an artist he is, because iyang gilatag sa salog ang daghan na kay niya nga mga obra, yang mga nahimo nga mga sketches, mga portraits, and then he also do doodling, kay mao daw kuno na siya ang
Wow.
hindi daw kuno sa mga bata. He also teaches, he's also open for doing a tutorial for kids, for children, and he really loves doing that. Yeah.
Wow. So, no, isa na siya ka-tip, no, because I understand Jason also kind of bitong, because our episode last Saturday was supposed to be art for cash, because he uses his artwork to sustain his education, even if sa USTP libre na ang tuition fee, but he still has other expenses, 'di ba? And he uses
Right,
that,
exactly.
'di ba? Mm-mm.
Especially tungod kay karon ang ato ang mode of learning is online. So atong mga estudyante
Online.
nanginahanglan gid sila og ilahang pang-load, and of course kana nanginahanglan gid og kwarta, nanginahanglan sila gadget, 'di ba?
Yes.
So kana kinahanglan gid
Oo.
sila og suporta. So Jason is able to raise this money that he needs for his online learning through doing art, no? So ga-accept siya mga commission actually, and I'm one of those nga who asked if he can do a portrait of my grandmother, because timing kayo kay birthday pud sa ako ang lola. Ito sir 86th birthday sa ako ang lola. So I asked him to do a portrait of my grandmother, and then pagpakita na ko sa akong lola, nalipay gid kay siya kay ani iya pang term awat gid daw kuno kaayo ang yang dagway.
Yes.
Ba?
So, muna siya.
Yes. Muna siya. Diba? Si
Yeah.
Richelle
Una.
pod. Yes, go ahead.
Kaka-remind siguro sa mga ilalang ng mga kuan mong mga, like, if you're good at something, kanang you really have to work on it para
Yeah.
at least mahon pa nimo yung skills. And
Correct.
gladly Jason is doing it. Plus, the bonus is he gets paid for his works.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
'di ba? So in Ana. So no, Richelle also was saying when we first posted datong first na to siya nga poster, nagpa-commission pod si Richelle sa iya ha ug mosunuray na pud ko din ha nga pamaagi labi pila lang katambling ang ihang balay sa amo ang balay. So why not, 'di ba? Para ma-immortalize ta through painting ang atong mga dagway diha ug uban pa. But 'di ba? So sa atong mga ka-IH no, if you are, this is actually because this is a work of art. This is different from the photos that you are taking. A photo is also work of art, but this is like grabe gyud siya, the artist hand, and that it's nice really to immortalize your photos in that. We will post also apart sa among pag-post sa video ni Jason sa iyang contacts kay para if you want to have a commission a work kang Jason, you may do so, and it would really be a great help sa iya ha, no, para pod makapadayon siya sa iyang pag-eskwela in this pandemic. So yun, so shout out kay Jason.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I may share one last thing, this guy is really hanga kay ko ani nga batanon gyud when I got to had a talk with him. Mabati gyud nako ang iyahang sincerity o ang iyang passion no, for arts. And then I was really kanang inspired, and na-inspire ko saya when he said towards the end of my interview with him nga he also would want to give back. Then even in fact right now da he's starting to collect arts materials because he wants daw to teach young students, and then eventually in the future he wants to come up with a scholarship program. No, gusto siya
nice.
mag-come up with scholarship program kay ingon siya nga, I believe that I was born to be an artist, and I'm an artist with a purpose, and my purpose was to change people's lives through my arts. Gusto niya nga mapalipay ang mga tao through his art, and gusto siya magpaskwela daw kuno og mga kabatanunan nga naay hilig sa arts, ug bisan daw kuno katong mga estudyante nga sa lain nga mga programa na interest sa laing programa, gusto siya magtukod og scholarship program. And right now this year he's starting to collect arts materials. Mo na iyahang ginabuhat pod karon.
Ayun, so nice. Ba, artist with a purpose, 'di ba? So dili lang siya nga iyahang self ang iyaha, but really like giving back, 'di ba? Considering Jason, God bless you, and we hope na we can really meet dool raman gyud ta do. Nara gyud tamblingon ra gyud ta kanina. Sa dool, 'di ba? And God bless you in your endeavors, no? And sa atoa ba karong panahon na it's nanlibaw ta ko balahibo when you said nga dili lang gyud siya nga kana bitawng para siyang pag-eskwela, but he really has this vision. We hope and pray nga ma-realize na siya ni Jason ug sa atong mga avid viewers ato din ha, especially in the USTP community. Let's start from our community and start supporting our very own Jason Golosinda, no? Shout out din ha mga friends, and they're watching us right now. So salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta kang Jason. And yun, so wow. Kada makita na to ba no, in this bitaw nga conversation pala about Jason, we speaks that art, being creative is really a power because you can create a power to yourself. At the same time, you can make change sa community nimo through your artworks, 'di ba? So that's how powerful creativity is. Yon.
And creativity again takes courage.
Yeah.
Correct. Nasa vision. Nasa vision.
Yes. Katog yun. Sakto
will
siya kayo.
to do it. So,
correct.
Konting push
correct. Lang. Oo. So, yun. So, Sir John, salamat kaayo sa imuhang pag-share sa sa story ni Jason o sa imong mga students. God bless you.
No problem. We will post the video. We will post the video sa ato ang page so that you really can see the entirety of the video, and I assure you that it's inspiring to watch. And please support him. No, if you'd like to, again, I'd like to reiterate this. If you'd like nga magpa-commission mo, please contact Jason. You can contact him. Napod siya YouTube channel actually where he uploads his mga artwork.
Mga artworks.
So we'll just post it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll post all the details dito. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayor. Until next
Mayor.
Saturday. Yun,
Ang
'di ba?
Yorme.
Inspiring kaayo si Yorme, si
Yes.
Mayor. Oy, dagko kaayo ta. 'Di ba? So, karon mo na gyud ni siya. Nakurat ko dagko kaayo ta. Karon, 'di ba? This is if we have Jason as an artist, 'di ba? Budding nga artist and he is without the purpose. Kani gyud pud siya. Ato ang guest karon mo na gyud ni siya. He's been everywhere, anywhere. And
Yes.
we are so honored nga iyahagyutang gi tagaan og time maski medyo nay mga aberya bago ta nagsugod dinala na to siya i-detalye pero unang giingon grace under pressure anad kaayo ni siya di ba a good friend artistic director and a cultural worker mo na ako mga isang gipang look up bitaw sa ilang mga trabaho Hobart Savior hello Bart na marag na
Hello,
commute na
sir.
hello
Yes, magayong hapon,
Mayang
Earl
hapon. Yes.
and Ma'am Angie, Sir Earl. I'm so glad, so happy that you invited me to be part of this conversation in harmony. And true, February is the National Arts Month.
Yes, no? For a time, Hobart was the sakto ba? I'm not sure about the exact designation of the National Commission for Culture and Arts in Region 10.
No, that's not how it is.
That unsa to
I'm
siya?
I'm a committee member for the National Committee on Drama, and then after that, we
Ayun.
moved to the National Committee on Cinema. So this
Ayun.
term, I stopped a bit because you have to have a pause for 3 years.
Mm.
And then
Mm.
after 2 years, I will go back. I might go to the National Committee in Cultural Education, or if not, I can go back to the National Committee on Drama.
Ayun, 'di ba? So, hi, 'di ba? Inana na siya kabugat si but
Yes.
but he's
Actually,
very
I'm
accommodating.
Yeah.
familiar po with the works of Sir Bart during the TXS yung mga days. And
Yes.
even get
Yes.
to watch some of your shows pa sa XU. So it
Wow.
really
Yes.
is fun.
Oo.
So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You'll see more.
Yes,
You'll see more.
ayun.
Yes, sir.
Correct, correct. So, Hobart will be sharing with us an essay of how he was able to kani bitong give us a view good nice kay beautiful kay siya nga essay on kanang creativity, the pathway. We titled it as the pathway to create higher creativity. So, Bart, I'll give you the floor to share with us.
All right. Thank you very much, Earl, again, and Angie. And I also would
So,
like
please
to say
do
hi.
share screen lang
Yes,
siya.
I would like to say hi to all the viewers, the netizens. I will now share my
Murag
screen.
namoy nadunggan nga nag-aw-aw dihang dapita mao ni siya.
All right, I will share my screen. All right. Okay.
I have
So,
Bart.
yes. So I hope you can see this. Are you seeing this now?
Yes, sir. We do.
All right, very good. So I titled this as Pathway to Higher Creativity. There is a book actually by Julia Cameron called The Artist's Way. It's actually a spiritual path to higher creativity. So in this sense now, this is actually a musing on how I really work as an artist myself and how I also better my experience as an artist. So we always believe that we are all artists. But let me begin with this video.
Everyone who acknowledges me before men, I also will acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven.
What is good?
Whoever denies me before men, I also will deny before my Father who is in heaven.
The results came back positive. You have cancer.
I know it's hard. Living in their world and being apart from it.
Fill in the papers I've just given you with 3 little words. God is dead.
I don't care. It's just
Josh, I love you, but I absolutely forbid you to go up against this professor in his own classroom. We have too much at stake.
We'll need to defend the antithesis. That God is not dead. We'll need to do in front of this class from the podium. If you fail, as you shall, You will fail this section and lose 30% of your final grade right off the bat. Are you ready to accept that?
So your acceptance of this challenge, if you decide to accept it, may be the only meaningful exposure to God and Jesus that you have.
Do you think you're smart? Do you think there's any argument you think that I won't have the answer?
This is something that's important to me. Right? But since it's not important to you, you made it a make it or break it thing for us.
You know I'm a Christian. You knew that when you first started seeing me.
Yes, and you know that I'm not.
Well, if he loves you that much, who cares what your boyfriend thinks? For the wrong person, you'll never have any work.
A 12-year-old watches his mother die of cancer. It's only natural to beg God for her life. He'll promise anything to his make-believe grandfather.
Just remember, God is good.
All the time.
All the time?
God is good.
No, Mom, and Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and He died to save me from my sin. I have cancer.
Why do you hate him? Why? It's a very simple question, Professor. Why do you hate God?
Because he took everything away from me.
Is God dead?
God is not dead.
God's not dead.
God's not dead. God's not dead. God's not dead. God's not dead. God's not dead.
All you have to do is decide whether or not you're willing to listen. It's not easy, but it's simple.
All right. So that's from the movie God's Not Dead. And I always believe that as created, I presume that I have a creator. And we always believe that someone is higher and bigger than us. And others may have been perplexed by this thought, but let me set that I am an artist formator who believes that someone or something is a higher power and being. And we call him God, definitely. All right? So from nothingness is something we can very well explain through faith and the grace of artistry, actually, and creativity and ingenuity will be given to us. So according to Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way, God is actually good, orderly direction. And this is something that actually allows us to flow, and we call it actually our flow of life, right? So this was God's molding and carpentry work that is of a marvelous, work on us. He gave us actually with that of the universe, and He gave us a lot of infinity and possibility, and abundance of life stemmed from the poles of heaven and earth and other bodies that manifest His being God. And it takes faith for we to understand more of our lives and the things that surround us. So God gave us the capacity to create, for we are created in His likeness, and He is the ultimate artist. It was noted in the book of Genesis that He Himself is the creator of heaven and earth. And in the faith for the divine myth, and that He created all there is in 7 days, including man. All right? So like God, again, we create to better our lives. Creativity and meaning making flower from our perspectives in life. Of course, we choose to have a good life, right? Not a miserable one. And His love, as He gave His Son, and through Christ's teachings, guided us to know, understand, go closer to God, and love Him dearly. thus making our lives better with an unceasing faith, gratitude, and goodwill to others. This is to me is the wonder and essential spectacle of the creator and the created. Now allow me to ask, have you saturated and marveled the various creations? Like say for example, a lotus flower, a periwinkle, a sunrise, a sunset, right? A waterfall, a bird, no? People, cultures, races, places, among other creations. So let us be reminded that in all the things, or in all things, we find God and His being and His love. These creations are the best sources of human creativity. And from these creations, our lives become less mysterious and filled with future, again, possibilities. And I call it actually infinite ingenuity. So, my artist way, actually, in my life, are endless musings of internal intimacy. Thus, my eternal space is a continuous shaping of what I have within and in the kind of responses that I have to those that matter and to those that do not. This leads me to the kind of creative process I have within, percolating my mind of personal life and at the same time sharing these to others. But they say I can never measure myself through others and I cannot define myself and my happiness through others who, in ways, have their own means of becoming. But there are those who, in many ways, have affected, actually, who have affected me, and maybe they inspired me. And those people also, no, there are also people who actually destroyed my sensibilities. Who are these people? These are actually people who could give you joy. These people who could also inspire you. These people who could also give you more meaning. And maybe we can look for those people who could really affirm you and at the same time appreciate you. But not all the time. There will also be people who will really criticize you. There will really be people who will really put you down. Then you also have the capacity to determine those who bag you down, those who are irate, and those who tell you are not good enough, and especially those who are crazy makers in your life. Thus, in my life and in my maturity, I am able to answer these questions. Therefore, I learn the art of choosing the right battles and eventually the art of letting go. Nowadays, my musings are of making myself more stable and more loving of myself as a person, whose artist within me is a child who needs care, nurturance, protection, affirmation, recognition, honing, and expression. The artist child within me is playful, uh, who needs his steps to be free and formed with a sense of safety, sensitivity, no? And at the same time, this artist child knows his world, right? Selfless enough to share and emotionally secure. So this artist child within me flows and is not blocked, for its true nature is creativity. And this path is a formation of being spiritually spiraling upwards for self-determination to enormous awakening, awareness, and generosity of capabilities to journey on creative pathways. This creativity that the artist child has is his life and spiritual blood, where he becomes an artist of his own, my own life. I am the Ovid, the chanter, right? The Babaylan. I am the Michelangelo. I am the Da Vinci, of my own life, fueled by faith. As William Blake said, I myself do nothing. The Holy Spirit accomplishes all through me. Like that of a flower, my creative life is infused with limitless inspiration and imagination. As what Dylan Thomas said, the force that through that green fuse drives the flower. With inspiration and imagination, our world widens and our understanding to various phenomena are more discernible, palpable, to make things more sensible and meaningful. Once I wrote a related aphorism, part of my poems, and I said, I let loose, no, or let loose of yourself beneath the green leaves of energy true and real energy. Inspiration is everywhere. Inspiration leads us to creativity, conducting or constructing, deconstructing, reconstructing our lives as our work of art. Creatively, we deal with our lives with inspiration that should not remain in thoughts, but these are translated into actions, favorably making ourselves become who we are or who we are intended to be. So Paul Tillich said that man is asked to make of himself what he is supposed to become to fulfill his destiny. Inspiration gives you a sense of connectivity to what you aspired for, in the accordance to what you aspired for, shall I say, in the accordance or with the accordance to God's will, thus making one not suffer as a creative being, but a more resolved and grounded one who actually live a life creative enough to attain well-being and transcend from suffering to joy and bliss. Right? So inspiration is a tool. Yan ang malakas. Inspiration ang malakas. It makes us follow our bliss. I hope I am still heard. Right? Ma'am Angie, no? Okay ba yung audio ko? Right? Okay ba, Fran? Thank you very much.
You're okay. You're okay, Bart.
Thank you.
Please proceed.
Imagination, on the other hand, is power. Now, needless to say, Einstein believed that imagination is more important than knowledge, and he knew very well that no knowledge is generated that does not stem from the curiosity of the mind. And imagination started everything. God may have imagined the eternal life's drama, immensely conflicting the good versus evil, but with imagination, the divine myth, from Genesis to the New Testament to the Revelation, was created and told. Everyone has the capacity to imagine, as everyone is an artist. John O'Donohoe, in his book, The Anamkara, said that everyone brings out sound from silence and that everyone lures the invisible to become visible. Imagination lies in our thoughts, activated by our inner sense, responding to the external, only to be tapped and tamed to create something out from nothing or that starts from somewhere. Could be a stimulus or a discovery of anything revealed by what you see, feel, hear, or any senses that are within you. In the Anamkara, O'Donohoe mentioned that imagination is a great friend of the unknown. Imagination, according to him, invokes and releases endless power of possibility. I like this word, no? Possibility. We always create possibilities. Imagination, to me, defines our inner senses made into more concrete products, like that of a poem, a painting, a song, a dance, or anything created by man. These creations are brought out from the inner thoughts and feelings born to be shared with others. Our imagination brings us somewhere and tells us more about our desires from the power of thought and positive thinking that shape our cognition, affection or emotion, and our psychomotor states. Very well expressed in Rhonda Byrne's The Secret, that the law of attraction is something that is according to the kind of emotion system that we have. The way we think, the way we feel, and what manifests will always be a match. Thus, when we imagine to become fuller and richer, and that our emotion guides favor to the imagination, creatively, what you ask for shall be given. Somehow, this is biblical, for life as God bestows on us will forever be present with its abundance in countless opportunities. When everyone knows how to think and imagine very well with a word or with a world of peace, no? Try, no? But there's a song by John Lennon, Imagine. So what if we will all imagine, no, in countless ways, no, in various ways, a world of peace, respect, human dignity, cultural understanding, solidarity among others. Our lives in this world will be void of chaos, conflict, war, and struggle from political disputes, unjust territorial claims, and historical injustice. Sabayan pa sa parag-away sa PNP o sa PIDEA. Di ba? O, mawala na sila. So we are all creative being, and the power we have to imagine, if only used for good, then everything is in order. the flow of life is attained and fulfilled. The Tibetan art of positive thinking is about serenity, reconciliation, wealth, wellness, and peace. And as artists, we have the power to recreate and reconstruct the kind of world we want to live in. And all we have to become is for each one of us to attain better lives to share, not a squandered one whose creativity is fueled by negativity, struggles, and suffering. And my vocation is to share how to have a good life, to express, to narrate, to advocate for, to set as an example, and to aid in facilitating humanity remain dignified, living in the world with vitality, tenacity across time and space. The way to higher creativity also acknowledges the point that all ages are potentially artistic. Like a ballpen can be potentially poetic. Our artist within is forever a child. Art through inspiration and imagination is never aged. Allow me to positively share with you Julia Cameron's enumeration of how we tap our creative potentials. And I quote, "Stop telling yourself it's too late." Diba? Everyone could be an artist, okay? It is never aged. It's never age conditioned. Stop waiting until you make enough money to do something you'd really love. If you want to paint, paint now. If you want to dance, dance now. Okay? Stop telling yourself it's just my ego whenever you yearn for a more creative life. Stop saying that. Stop telling yourself that dreams don't matter, that they are only dreams, and that you should be more sensible. Dreams kaya are sensible. You know, dreams for me, they really tell me a lot. No? Alam na alam ko kung may mangyayaring negative or positive because they reveal, no, through my dreams. Stop telling that your family and friends would think you are crazy, especially when they say you're gay. No? Diba? Mag-judge na yun. Stop telling yourself that creativity is a luxury and that you should be grateful for what you have got. That's from Julia Cameron. To be an artist is to shape your identity. Look at me working as an artistic director. I have people with me. So whatever it takes, your artist is actually your life, right? And Ralph Waldo Emerson would put it as what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Our identity connects to our being within. Desires, longings, aspirations, name them. All gives out actually who you are and the best that you can be. And yeah, I am an artist. Look at me there as a performer, as a director. I am a performing artist. I am an actor, a director for theater and film. And when I recognize all these, no one can put me down. You know, because art is so powerful and, you know, it gives me vigor. It gives me this life. I nurture and protect my being, honed to season myself and secure from any inner or external creative sabotage or bashing. It has never been easy, but the journey is always fulfilling. It is formative and life-changing. My pathway to higher creativity humbles me and makes me more secure and confident with myself. I never expect that anything, I never expect anything external, like an award. Pero I don't know. Maybe I will get an Oscar someday. For what is within me is beautiful enough, and I make sure it is selflessly shared with others. And as an artist, I journeyed and traveled inward so I can reach and relate to what is external of me through understanding, tolerance, and kindness. As an artist, with all the points of protecting, caring, and nurturing my artist child within, mastered the sense of safety, identity, power, integrity, possibility, abundance, connection, strength, compassion, right? By the way, there's a new term now. I don't know if it's a new term. It's called compassion fatigue. So sana wala tayong compassion fatigue, no? We always give compassion, right? As we take care of ourselves. So self-protection and preservation, autonomy, and lastly, I will deepen my faith. All the items enumerated are the teachings of the Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and the principles she taught me made me commit, no, as an artist who believes that I am a creative being who has a positive and pure creative energy. And inside me is a creative force dwelling. It is actually a God force, within me. He is within me, right? God's gift to me is creativity. And if I will refuse to be creative, I will break my true nature. And that my inspiration, imagination, and creation come from God, our divine source. As I move toward creative dreams brought by inspiration, imagination, I move toward divinity. There are 3 steps in my creative process. And first is actually about knowing the purpose or my purpose in life. My inquiries stem from the very coring of my identity. Like we're asked in the humanities classes, who I am, what am I here for, where do I go from here? As I pursued the answers to these inquiries, the gifts and graces of life unfolded. And there were good ones and there were also bad ones. But all these questions and answers will lead me into truth, of my being. And this unfolding is what I call the endless path of life's mystery, right? So I love this. So life and truth are the beauty one should embrace, for they define who you are, how and why you behave, in a certain manner, and how and why you accord yourself to certain rules as you coexist with others. The second step of my creativity or creative process is to embrace the gifts selflessly. Creative and artistic opportunities open doors, right? They open doors for me, and I never let any of them run away from me. Let me remind you, once a favorable opportunity knocks on your door, take your steps in attaining it or getting it, for it might be gone forever. And once you have it, never miss the opportunity to share it with others. My being an artist is internalized and actualized as my apostolate. And this, what I bring every time I go where the greater need is calling me and ask me to be a man, an artist for others, right? So I and my co-artists responded to serve the victims of Sendong, Yolanda, and in any repressed areas of the country. I joined with others in giving sets of arts therapy to children, youth, teachers, soldiers, among others. We went to orphanages, war-torn areas, and resettlement sites in Lanao del Sur, Lanao del Norte, Cotabato, ethnic and cultural communities in Bukidnon, and in Iligan City, and just for us to teach arts, to teach the triumphs of life. And this step of accepting and embracing fully the gifts of the arts humbled me. And this step actually taught me to be contented and to serve others sincerely. The third and last step was to be grateful. Right? You can never go wrong when you are filled with sincere gratitude in your hearts. But sadly, if I were to broadcast this, marami ding tao na hindi talaga grateful. Right? They will forget that value. But as an artist, if you are a real artist and a true artist, gratitude will ground you. Gratitude will give you the path, right? You deserve to go far and soar high with all that you have attained in life. But what brings you closer to others and what makes you stay on the ground is your immeasurable gratitude. This is your most powerful payback. This is your selfless gift, right, to others. Actualize everything with gratitude, for without it, we are shallow and we are just filled with senseless air that does not help others breathe. Allow me to, ang ganda na pagkasabi. If we are not grateful, we are just filled with senseless air that does not help others breathe. With gratitude, one is reminded of the many things, including character strength, that is free from or void of mind-identified ego. I'm almost done. Take time to examine your own states of life. Yan ang ginagawa namin parati ni Ephraim. And affirm the gifts that you have within, right? Or the gifts you have within. And be selfless to detach from any mind-identified ego. And you start by recognizing that you cannot give what you do not have. Like that cliche, no? You cannot love if you have not loved yourself as well. And in any sense, you cannot force any issue just for your own sake and for your own favor. I hope everyone's still awake, right? I hope you find this sharing a wonderful one. Start, truly and sincerely from within by recognizing and appreciating your own beauty, right? Merong isang speaker, no, na na-feature dun sa The Secret. I forgot her name. Yeah, she says that the moment she began loving herself, that's the time the world, unfolded, favorably to her. And in this sense, you do not need others to tell you how bright, how intelligent, how beautiful you are. For actually your nature of your being will flower forth like any of the blossoms that God created for the world to see when you love yourself, when you are grateful also of what you have. Once Christ had said that one should examine the flowers and one should compare them with his or her life. This simply tells us that nature or the nature of our beauty is definitely selfless. That's why ako ay lotus art. No? Pero napaisip na rin ako, baka i-change ko na yung mantra ko. Kasi di ba, lotus is also thriving on murky waters, but it remains beautiful. Kaya siguro ang daming, tututut na lang. No? So, let us use our gifts not to outdo or outwit others. Importante din yan. No? Marami kasing iba, no offense meant to others, no, na they actually outwit others. They think that sila lang ang pinaka-bright, sila lang ang pinaka-maayo. Art is meant to be abundant. The world is so abundant, so why do we compete? We can paint one subject and there are many painters. Like if there are 25 painters who will paint me, they will have various interpretations of me. Diba? In fact, one will actually paint with a crown, or me with wearing a crown, no, perhaps. So let us not outwit or outdo others. Instead, we use our gifts for the good and the benefit of others. Master the art of living a good life, and once you have this good life, then you have something good to express and share willfully to others. Those are actually the 3 steps that I have, and with that or with those, I am able to discern and understand the following points. By the way, yung 3 steps of creativity ko or creative process, those are actually imbued also with 1, journaling. I also write every day 3 pages on my journal. All right. And then it's a way of reflection. It's also a way of prayer. And then second, I always use or do artist date. No, walk dogs, walk under the trees, go to a beach, go to a spring, a swim. That's an artist date. Okay. So it's a very important sense. And of course, extend goodwill to others. Life is never about being great. These are the points that I discern and understand, as I always, I think my friend Efren and Kelly and Zola, among others, all the artists here in Cagayan de Oro and the Philippines will always see me with this. So I always believe that life is never about being great, but it is about being able to share goodwill to others. So life's contradictions will always be easy to handle and hurdle. Sana I could be true, no, with what I am saying. But life is never perfect because life is never linear. Life is a labyrinth, right? The world is an endless praxis of creativity, and the expressions we share and deem meaningful with everyone define our way and perspectives in life. The limits of my imagination are the limits of my expression. So the limits of my expression are therefore the limits of my humanity. There will always be crazy makers. Kabalo mo unsa na mga crazy makers? Kana bitaw maghilabot sa inyong life. Mo na mga tao na kanang miingon nga makikita ko sa ay mo pero hindi pala sisipot. There are a lot of crazy making, especially those people who will really sabotage your energy, who will undermine you. Even the technical difficulty is a crazy making. All of us were stressed out, right? But in our lives, but those crazy makers, hindi pala ito na complete. I mean, those crazy makers actually give us the opportunity to reflect also on ourselves, so that in any crazy making, we make sure that we are not the crazy makers, no? For others and for ourselves. I'm almost done. Any very important, no, Angie, no? There are dreams to fulfill, so don't bury them. Do not let others bury your dreams. My God, ang usa sa mga gabury sa atong mga dreams, atong parents. Ayaw pag arts, walang pera sa arts. Sasabihan tayo ng ganyan, no? They, parents will say, do not dance. Kay makabayot. You know, kana gid ang pinaka-worst, no, ng mga inana ba. They sabotage our dream to become creative, no? Mumbaga, no? And then, when we actualize the gifts of the arts within us, let us accept that we begin with baby steps or small steps. And bluntly, we are bad artists first before we become the artists others thought of us to be. I like that. The arts fuel our existence. The arts are our channels to God. The arts teach us the process of formational values of having kind hearts, discipline, and excellence. And the arts are energies, and that what repels them is actually selflessness. Lastly, always have a good life to express. Sinabi ko na ito kanina. But you know, that's also very important. There are more rewards for you when you live a good life. Thank you to Monet. Most of the paintings are Monet's. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir.
I will stop sharing. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that, sir.
So much. Thank you so much. In our circle, actually, I don't call him Hobart. We call each other Manang.
Yeah.
Efra would call Manang, Zola would call Manang, Manang mi sa iya. Manang mi, mo na among endearment, term of endearment. And yes, Hobart was so generous in sharing this essay sa ako last night, and as I read it, nalibaw akong balahibo. That's why I didn't say anything good, because I wanted it for him to really share sa inyuhan. It was really a very beautiful journey of how art is in our life, how it is to be an artist, and how artistry would make a difference in the community and in the lives of others. But it's boundless, it's endless, and we can go on with our conversations here. Pero Earl, what can you say about the beautiful
actually,
presentation?
I'm still trying to process everything, but I've never been that much of an artist. Pero I'm a fan of, I'm a bit of a fan of the arts, and especially sa philosophy of things. And I really had a lot of pickups on sa katong essay nga, like connecting yourself with God through arts is also one thing, because as you have said, sir, we are created in His image, which is very intriguing in a sense nga a lot of people are trying to somehow to say nga they are part nga we are created and in His image, but at the same time their actions kumbaga deviate from that thought. And then another one would be when you mentioned that life is not about being great, which is very ironic sa atong time karon, especially that as humans we were born to compete. Kumbaga, we were taught to compete, not to cooperate but to compete, which is very unusual siya when we it's very thought provoking. Kumbaga, that's why I've always wanted to ask nga, do you sir, always sa imong process, do you consider, how do you integrate kanang human nature, for example kana like expressing goodwill but at the same time trying to be great in your field?
Yeah. What actually makes you in that realm of understanding what greatness is when you are able to really accept others' ingenuity, others' talent, others' creativity. Because, like, say for example, I am an artistic director for film and theater, and you know I cannot create by myself alone. Therefore, I need the brilliance of my actor. I need the brilliance of my creative team, my designers, among others. And in that sense, when we actually converge no, and weave all of this, then it's not just yours. Therefore, that goodwill, the process between me and my artist, that that matters actually most. Because you see, when you are going to help them perform as an artist themselves as well, you have to nurture them and you have to extend that goodwill, make them see that value. So yan ang point nako. And it's actually the moment when you dissolve your ego and the more that you become
You
greater.
open.
Yeah, you're open. Kasi ang problema kasi pag great ka na, it's parang many of the people will always think na greatness is a twin of ego among di ba?
Oh.
Hindi dapat ganyan. Hindi ba manginta nga na great na siya, then sikat na siya kaya hala, dapat nalagay siya ulo. Di ba malaki na ang ulo, di ba?
Yes.
So hindi tama yung I think in life there must be a square of opposition. The more you become greater, the more malesen ang iyong
Ego.
person. Andiyan na yung not person, your kada bitang sitaw kanang imong kamunduhan, no? Your kana siya malesen na siya. Ang ego gid mismo madissolve.
Correct. The higher you go, the lower your ego should go also po unta, di ba nang? Yun. So, kana bitang which leads me to ask, I mean, na siya kay no kay that what you said speaks of there's no point of competing but rather collaborating and cooperating. Collaborating kay we all have the skills and the talents that we can contribute to make things better, to make our world a better place to live. Pero how do you kana bitang because that is a fact. That's a reality that 'di ba uban ko ng mga artists are eccentric, 'di ba? Kay mo ang rasonan nga ay nana na siya kay lagi artist na gud
Artist,
siya.
yes.
Kana na bitaw nga kuan. Nga so kita na lang mo adjust. So what can you comment on that nga perspective?
Actually, thank you, no? Kinaraan ka ayo na, no? Sa 19 kupong pa kayo na concept. That's why they said that, generally daw artists are so difficult to handle, so difficult to manage, that's why mag-adjust ang uban, fickle-minded ang ubang artist, etc. But, I would like to tell you that siguro sa akong journey, I always make sure that if it is possible, you can manage your thought, you can manage your words, your action to favor respect towards others and collaborating with others and seeing the clearer picture, and then that would be my action as an artist. That would be my pathway. So I'm not saying walay truth, light truth. Okay, sometimes naman gitay. I don't think it's only exclusive sa mga artists nga na fickle-mindedness. Bisag dili mga artist, no? Fickle-minded man gyapon, naman gyapon difficult nga mga tao bisag dili sila artist. But ang point lang nako karon, ang uso na gid karon is that when you are an artist, you have to have this sense of awareness, and we have this opportunity to have also this well-being, mental well-being, character well-being. Kay importante man makita man na siya sa imong work, right? But the eccentricity of the eccentricity of your own uniqueness as an artist for your own voice, that's also very important. Because as a visual artist, as a poet,
your identity.
You must have your own eccentricity. You must have your own voice, your identity. And that is so difficult to find. That is not found overnight. So ang point lang din karon is siguro kani magud pathway to higher creativity. Di ba higher man akong giingon? Pamatasan na niya akong gisulti diri. I am now talking about values. Pamatasan, batasan, right? This is now about views, that make us transcend beyond the kanilitang mga artists nga. No offense lugar nga. Sa una, niagi man po ko ana, G, no? Sa una, manglabay ko upuan, manglabay kong script. I throw snares, on my actors, Pero na-realize na ako, I just realized na siguro nagkatiguang na siguro nagka-hire na ang imuhang nagka-hire na, no? So I don't know, if I were to become the next Steven Spielberg, Di ba? Siguro sa Steven Spielberg, lahat na po diyang process karon nanay higher nga creativity. And take note,
Tinuod.
Earl and Angie,
Yes.
ang artist kay dili stagnant. Dynamic
correct,
man.
correct.
So mag-grow gid ang artists. Antod nga maka-realize na sila nga, okay, na maayo na, ingani na, lahi na ang shapings, lahi na ang moldings, and that's how artists grow, actually.
Yeah,
Actually,
nice.
mo gina akong kuan, yeah, the more you realize na ang kanang ina nga thought is similar to how man, I mean, there was this thought of school of thought way back na that it is a step towards achieving the ultimate knowledge nga kailangan you never stop seeking for one, which is very evident sa kanang ina nga sense sa mga, especially sa ways of artists na like the ego and then how to manage
Correct.
those ego, like
Yeah.
it's very kuan ba.
Pero I think mo na siya sa katong giingon ni Hobart Pod ba nga kanang bitang we have to be a bad artist first before we become the good if not the better artist. Kay naa gyud siya process, 'di ba? But ano lang siya gyud kana bitaw ang worry lang ba is we might be consumed into that and prefer nga didto na siya kay we felt nga inani gyud siya ang process. We hope nga eventually you go to more higher na siya nga proseso na gyud siya.
Allow me to expound. I got that from Julia Cameron. Na kabantay mo nga nakasayaw lang gani dancer na dayon.
Correct.
Ang tubag, why not, di ba? Paint gani og abstract una, painter na dayon.
Painter na.
Pero why not? Di ba? Ang problema, all is again potentially artistic and creative.
Yeah.
Ang problema kung nag-paint na pataka na dahil o ko ang hambugera na din kaayo, diha ang problem. That's why artists, para mahimo og formidable og stronger ang artist, mo accept sa gid siya nga nagsugod siya as a bad artist. Diya din makita ang growth. Kaya kung nagsugod ka, maayo na ka-diretsyo na makriticize ka, katumbas baya sa art, kakambal ng art ang criticism. And those the more we have criticism, the more the artists grow. And the artists become polished. Right? Ang problema sa usa ka community kung walay mga critics, ang mga artists dili kabalo maminaw, dili kabalo mo mutugpa. So ang may tabo nila na ang may tabo nila na once ma-criticize sila, ma-down dayon. Take note, artist is also like an Olympian. Kaya mo rin yapon siya athletics ba? Kinanglan di pa mo train mind, body, and spirit. So, you must have sound mind, sound spirit, sound body. Because I mean, I'm so sorry, dali na kay mabash ang usa ka artist. Labi na kung usa ka criticism, dili strong yung foundation, yung acceptance, ang problem. So that's what I meant by we have to accept first that we are bad artists before we become greater artists the way, others think of us to be. However, that particular theory or statement, katong we have to be a bad artist first, comes actually from Julia Cameron. Ako lang ga-expound. Because I really believe it so.
Pero sir, I mean, for example, in an thought, how do you handle or like how do you choose what kind of criticism imong paminawon to become better?
How do you filter? Sige, akong dugangan pa na.
For the sake of criticizing, di ba?
Yeah. Padugangan pa na ako nang before ka mo tubag, Bart, no? How do you filter which one you consider as kanang unsa gina constructive criticism nga baayo siya and nga kato siya kay nag-inarte lagi. What's the term nga gigamit nimo kaganina nga mura lang yung wala lang busy lang yung kay silang time para manghilabot sa imo. And then you personally, how do you manage it? How did you manage it nga mura bitaw kay mura you rise above occasions nga kiber naagyo ko sa akong bukid bahala mo diha sa ubos ko imo pa siyang i-drawing bitaw nga mura bitaw you can always shout to throw hurls on me but
I'd like to say that in anything there's always a process, and the end in mind here is to become a better person, a better artist. Because if you look at it, criticism is not exclusive to art. There is also criticism to just an ordinary person, diba? However, I'd like to also emphasize that it goes with, through time and through process. And the question is, how do you filter and how do you really consider that? First things first, criticism is something that we need to accept that it's there, because it's actually your mirror, it's actually your it's not bounce kuan ba kanang murag wall bitaw nimo that will make you see and wake up, no? Because since creativity is boundless, but we need also certain sense of views on criticism that will actually trim, no, this imagination para ma-form, para ma-shape. And take note, it's about a juggle, or it's a ping pong of form, meaning, and function. And you as an artist, you need to actually see this the way also those critics see that.
Okay.
But ang problem karon is diun sa pagstorya. Dili mo sulod dayon ang manner, how it was actually said. Ang method diun sa pagstorya, unsay modality diun sa, o ang gitawag na matter, ang yang content. Like say for example, I have to tell you, I have a mentor, I will not mention names, na talagang you're a bad director. Pangit ng blocking mo, right? Ang pangit ng poetry mo, etc., etc. Pero you know what? It was actually negotiated in a way that I become better rather than I will be shattered. You know, lulugmok ka, kumbaga. You know what happened is that you first begin by taking care or caring for your artist child within. Actually, Earl, ang kasakitan bitaw, Earl, dili man ikaw as a person, it's actually your ego. And take note, your artist child is spoiled na siya sa sunod. Kung dili nimo na makontrol imong artist child, mura nagbata nga kanang bata bitaw nga spoiled. So ikaw mismo, your artist child within mo na imong i-tame. You have to tame that artist child. So that siya dayon pag masakitan na siya, kabalo na din siya nga mo protect. Kabalo siya mo kuan sa iyang cover. I hope you like this you like that metaphor. And then second, what is also very important now, because you see that you are not alone. You are not alone as an artist. So therefore, kung na criticism, it's not something that you will say nabagot na giko ani. No. It's just a perspective. It's just their opinions. Ang problem karon is not their criticism at all. It's how you react to their criticism that becomes problematic.
Correct.
Right? Because they will always be there.
Correct. And that you have a control of those on how you'd react to that criticism. Ganahan kay ko sa kanang imuha bitang pagkahatag nga, the artist is always bitong ang pagkabata kay, because the bata is always the curious one, di ba? That would explore. And ang quote nato for this episode is creativity takes courage. Ang courage sa bata nga mo explore nga wala bitay mindless yun siya, di ba? Nga bahalag mabungi ko dito sa unahan basta kay mo explore ko. But if you're an artist, you have to balance na your maturity and your childlike artist or being a child artist. How do you unsa ba nimo na siya?
That's why Angie and Earl, important to all our viewers, no? Ang importante talaga dito ay the artist will really invest time on reflection, some positive affirmations. Importante ang journaling. Ang rest is also very important.
Yes, tanga-tanga pa nalagsa. Ingon pa si Sir Prime, di ba, nga ragandang tanga-tanga, ana.
Kinalan ka musings, kinalan ka kasi tawag anak ka nang, kana bitaw, dili ma-block imong self. So, it's flow. So, clear nimo imong pathway.
Okay.
Gani.
So, anyway, sir, we are in a world man defined by boxes, di ba? And then most people, like, they try to separate the sciences, which is a very long-standing war na, di ba? Yeah. Separate si science and then si religion. Conversely, they also get to separate science and then the art, because art somehow, as you said earlier in your essay nga, si art is part of the divine. So, para sa imo, sir, do you see the sciences and then the art as one, and how do you see it?
I would like to tell you that no aspect in life, including science, that is not affected by art. and
Yes.
culture, right? The moment you wake up, it's already artistic. The moment you take a bath, that's already artistic. The moment you
Ah,
choose your clothes, that's already artistic, right? The moment you take care of yourself, that's already art. And that is something.
romantic kaayo ka man nang karong
Yes,
panahon na. Sige,
yes.
go. I like it. I'm
And
listening.
that's
Yes.
and that's what most people missed about art, and try to segment it and fragment
Mm.
it from science,
Yes.
because take note, no innovation that will come out if there's no imagination. That's why
Correct.
Mm.
Einstein said imagination is more powerful than knowledge. It's also
Correct.
tantamount to saying that imagination is more important and more powerful than any science at all. Because there's
Mm.
no science, there are no buildings, there will be no architects, there will be no, aviations, there will be no, whatever technology there is, even internet without art. What does the
Correct.
internet facilitate? Expressions,
Mm.
right? Yeah, language is art, all right? Even their
Mm.
scientific nuances are
Mm.
also very part of art.
Mm.
So I would like to
Mm.
tell you that naanay movement karon na STEAM, dili na STEM.
Oh,
Mm.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and
Arts.
yeah, and isa ng M, mathematics. So
Mathematics.
yeah, kanang
Mm.
STEM murag babago na siya, himuon na nilang
STEAM.
STEAM. Yes.
Mm.
Because
Ba, kay dili gid siya.
I'd like to emphasize. Now, like say for example, MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of
Institute of
Technology,
Technology.
they will always say that the arts, are very important and essential aspects to their academic life, including
Mm.
Harvard, including all other universities. So that's why,
Mm.
in fact, it was already legislated that all local government units like Cagayan de Oro, we should establish na our local arts and culture council, so that arts will
Correct.
not just become a personal endeavor, but it will also become supported by the
Government.
superstructures, the government. Like say for
Correct.
example, bakit ang gaganda ng pelikula ng Korea? Because their superstructure, their government supports their filmmaking, how much budget they put into the arts. So that's,
Correct.
and that's part of their development, right? Ang
Mm.
problema sa ato, maghimo tag development, not pro culture, and it's not also, artistic or aesthetically sound enough, di ba?
Correct.
So, ang
Mao
mga
man.
balay, gubaon. Sayang kayo,
Mao.
asa heritage. Ang mga
'Di ba?
grass,
Dili i-preserve.
ang mga grass,
'Di ba?
gisimento. Kita Central
Correct.
Park, gisimento. Di ba? Ang
Mm.
Central Park, mura maglasaw. And
Correct.
it's part of natural
Tinuod.
heritage. And that's where, ang problema sa science, kung hindi nila tanaw ng arts as essential aspect to development, no? Kaya, ang importante din sa science, kay moving forward with development. And take
Correct.
note, it's the arts that will remind science that we are not robots. We are
Mm.
humans.
Mm. Yun, 'di ba?
Art.
Nindot kay dili gyud
Philosophy
na
of
siya
art.
distinct. Yeah, 'di ba? Dili na sila two separate nga magbangga. Uban gyud na sila, cause how can you create something if you do not by the word creative, 'di ba? You
And
do not have that.
the arts is scientific. I will
Yeah.
say no to those
Yes.
people who will say your art is not science. No.
No.
Art in
Mm.
itself is scientific.
Correct. Muna giingon ni Sir Bing nga Carinio, ingon siya if those people who think nga art is wala siya science, there is science in art.
Art.
So yun, 'di ba? Og mo agree na siya mobasa sa takadali man nang before I give you my last question, no? Ato ang mga viewers so active kayo. Shout out daw kay Doc Grant Mejorada Amoncio. Hello Doc Grant. And then
Hey, Doc.
someone is saying manang si Donna Lopez Cebu among kaoban nindot ang episode and she was once a performing arts member before sa SWUPAC. Ayun. And of course, Hakbang Pilipinas represent. Hello, Jerome J. sa Hamisan Sanoy. Bitaw, grabe, kompleto yun ngalan. Sawadika po, Miss Angel. Yun, salamat sa pagtanaw na sa mo ang episode karon. Ug nang, ani siya, Bart, last, before ta mag-end, no, kani siya, on a personal note, kay, di ba, for those who are kana bitawng artist Pero mga bata pa sila, but then like you said, like, ang pinakauna yun nga mo pin down sa imo kay mga parents kay, hoy, ga TikTok ka unsa imo kuha ana, wala na siya. Unsa ra na, di ba? Mga inana, so yung taon ng bata tuwa sa kuan. How did you have the courage to like, move out from that, rise to that, and like, embrace the artistry inyo nga gift siya, then na-tap yun siya nimo, na maximize pa yun nimo karon og this is mo na ni siya ga istorya ta karon.
I must have danced when I was still in the womb of my mother.
Inborn lover.
But, or yeah, the moment I was born, paghilak pa lang dramatic na. Uwa, di ba? Very actor na kayo.
Ba?
Yes.
Samo ka.
I think my advice now is will be for the parents first, that never sabotage the dream of your children. Like teachers also. Teachers should not sabotage the dream of their students. Like say for example, dagan kay teachers dili mo sugot ilang estudyante ma-excuse. For example, member ang estudyante sa choir. Nga magkanta ang estudyante og national anthem sa program na siya 7:30 nga class. Nga ang maestra kay mo sugot, dili dapat na buhaton sa maestra. Unang-una, member ang estudyante sa inyong eskwelahan. Ikaduha, ayaw i-curve because definitely ang mga artist, mga bright, makakope na siya sa iyang kuan.
Correct.
Iyang klase pagbalik niya. Maningkamot yun ang artist. And you know what? One thing good about being an artist, kay kabalo man nitag diskarte. Kadag mga trabaho ang mga artist. Dili ko motuog artist na broke or kanang mga in exceptional case na kay ng mga artist nga mga depressed kayo, kani siguro kinahanglan sila tabang. Right? In fact, Angie and Earl, I will have parang a psychotherapy session with artists nga medyo na sila problem, no, na ay mental health problem, etc., na depressed. So that will be sometime that will be in May. In March, no, this year. I will let you know about that as well. So I only need 9 to 11 to 13 participants, no, actually. So yeah, and sa mga bata dayon yung mga artists, ang point is know whether your dream is something that will sustain you. So like say for example, there are opportunities that they actually seem to be opportunities, but they're actually a threat or a trap. So ikaw mismo, kabalo nagkikadaan kung kabalo gusto ba jud ka gusto ba jud ka musayaw. Kaya naman giuban nga abi lang nila dancer sila, pero dili man dito para gid sa mga. So always discern to where you are led to. This is where God and discernment comes in. Diba? How you will be guided with the divine, no? So it will always be with the divine will. But ang pugin ng bata na, mugin niya akong gusto o ipagkaloob ba talaga sa iyo yan. Kasi sa ako, klaro man gid. When my lolo and my father wanted me to play basketball, softball, bisa pag-unsa ng mga ball diha, wa man gyud kay Chinese garter man gyud. Joke lang. Well, I mean, I want to be on the stage. I want to be dancing. I want to be singing. So, ana ang nahitabo. Klaro kay sa ako, elementary pa lang ko. And with that, it has something to be negotiated. Karon we are living in the 21st century. Dili na uso ang mga parents nga mo nip in the bud sa mga bata. Dili na uso karon. Parents will now sustain. In fact, na ako'y silingan sa Bloomingdale, no, sa Ipunan. Yang papa, ang akong kastorya yang papa, no? Yung papa, tig-building, tig-ayog, mga balay, lugar, mga, tawag na, handyman, no? Handyman siya, no? Handyman. Siya, uy, sir, kabalubi ako, sir, artistic director ka, sir, no? Direct ka, sir, ako nang ipa-develop akong bata. Yung town, yung anak, kay Kuan, 5'11", very full. Uy, ginoo ko. Nakuna ba? Kalino ba ali nga papa nga kung dapat siya nga papa siguro kung tanta lugar kung traditional nga
basketballista
basketball niya 5'11",
correct,
di ba? Then in that case ipa-develop niya siguro personality development, values, discipline mo maguni ang makuha sa arts.
Correct. Ba?
Identity.
Identity.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Mm.
I mean, the children or the kids should also look into bakit. Pwede mag-jig na medical, ano ka, doctor ka, and then artist, painter. Di ba?
Tinuod.
Pwede
True,
ba
true,
na,
true.
oh,
Naa siya mga inana.
if I were given a
Mm.
chance, yeah, no, I could have had, pursued information technology or computer
Oh,
science at the same
yes, that's
time.
what you've been
Also,
telling.
pwede ra kay
Correct.
dili ta magka ng magkahon ba? Oo.
Box.
Kay, ayaw i-box. Kay, gabi, karon dili na siya multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary. Transdisciplinary. Ano na ang term karon?
So dili na lagor applicable ang cancer non-multa sed multum.
Yeah. Ayaw sad. Pero ang point na ko is there are truths man God. And in that say, well, of course, we have to grow. So naanay gitawag
Yes.
na interweaving, no? And the more we are woven, we see the fabric that the world has given us a lot of opportunities. And that's what God wants us to have. Right?
Correct.
Depende na din sa
Tinuod.
values. So,
Tama.
values naman sa bidang imong gisulti. Like, say, for example, samtong quantum, mayroon ka nga, kanilang siya nga match, mura ni imong i-attain. Pwede bang pud na? Kaya gusto bang pud na you can have everything. I'm not
Yes,
saying
tama, tama.
when everything is
Lagi.
abundant, I'm not saying na imuhon na lang yun ang tanan. That's
Yeah.
where your emotional
You find your
guidance,
niche.
yeah, your emotional guidance, your divine assistance by God or will, diyan mo makita asa ka pa dito.
It's really important po nga you should know who you are yun para
Yes.
kabalo kung asa ka mo gusto to be great at, and then unsa po di mong it really has to have yung mga daghan kay dynamics sa imong life, di lang kay i-define lang ka sa imong work, but you also get to be
Mm.
defined as a person and sa imong case as an artist.
Exactly.
Tinuod. Mo na siyang giingon, 'di ba nga, that you have found your ultimate self. 'Di ba? The
Yes.
highest level sa kuan pa sa psychology pa. Hi man lang. Nindot kaayo ang atong conversation karon, and we're
Thank
so
you very much.
blessed. In Harmony is so grateful for your time.
Tama.
Even
Yes,
ikaw
sir.
kaganina nagka-kuan siya sa mga technicals.
Techniques.
But yeah, Carrie, Grace, God is so good for blessed us with this beautiful na siya nga signal with you na siya, and everything went all right. So, yun, siguro, your, Earl, your takeaway from this before we end the episode? Ganindot kaayo.
For this one, it really is atong um the desire to attain knowledge and the technicalities of the discipline of various fields, especially in the art. Now you should not only be defined by a certain aspect, pero you really have to have to be a multifaceted person. Although dili man tanan pwede gid inana, pero the point is kanang kumbaga yun, be great at what you think you can do best, but at the same time try other fields. Pasin day napakailain ganahan, di ba?
Correct.
And then
'Di ba?
it's a
So,
really key thing to appreciate to appreciate art in general, in a sense na it's not just there to provide aesthetics, but it also gives us our identity, and at the same time kumbaga yeah, it's there for, it's the discipline is there for a reason. Kumbaga it connects to a lot of things in life,
correct.
basically.
Tinuod. So, 'di ba, mura siya, ano ba, art is a compass in life. Kay if
Yes.
tanan lang siya black and white, pastilan ka boring sad siguro kaayo, 'di ba siya? Kay I see art as that spectrum of colors between black and white.
And white.
And how, 'di ba? And how you kana bitong imong giplaster, imong kahugalingon dinha would determine kung unsa imong ma-contribute to the society. Let's bring in Bart before the we close, 'di ba? Kay like what Bart mentioned kaganina, there's no point in competing kay dako kay atong kalibutan. It's just you
Correct.
finding your niche through arts, 'di ba? And maximizing that, tapping really to your highest potential, but first knowing yourself, your strength, and acknowledging that these are gifts that you ought to share. And yeah, life would be very, very beautiful if only we see the world as that, because all of us has a gift all of us has the talents, the skills. It's just a matter of really introspecting, looking into ourselves and acknowledging that and using that for yourself and to the benefit of everybody, 'di ba? For the goodwill,
Yes.
'di ba? Thank you so much, Bart, for
Thank you,
your
sir.
time. 'Di ba? Thank you gid
Thank you.
kaayo and
Thank
God
you.
bless sa
Wow.
imuhang mga endeavors and see you around. Yun. So sa mga ka-IH pod, salamat po kayo sa inyong pag-join sa mga this afternoon. Saturday is another inspiring episode. Join us and check our page for the video of Jason, and you can review today's episode because this will be posted in that and also in our YouTube channel in Harmony TV. So again, Earl, before you say Manang, but I before say Earl, you have greetings and
Yeah.
Ana.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with the netizens and the viewers of In Harmony. I have been a constant
Yes.
guest now of In Harmony, and I'm so again happy that my story, my pathway to higher creativity is actually heard. Balag gamay ra nakakita karon, okay lang. But what is really important is kani bitong opportunity. We always give floor, no? We always give space. Importante ang space, importante ang opportunity good para sa mga artists. So to all the artists here in Cagayan de Oro, Northern Mindanao, the Philippines, let us become more inclusive. Let's not be exclusive. Let us forge partnerships and collaboration. Because kani akong pinakagwapo nga message nga take away nga ihatag sa ako ibilin diay sa uban. Let's know one another and appreciate one another. Because when
Amen.
we collaborate, we become more of the truest sense of collaboration. Kaya kung dili na ito ma-appreciate at maila-ila atong kaugalingon at mga uban-uban pa, we will end up competing. And that's so sad.
Yes. Tinood.
Thank you.
Amen to that.
Thank you.
Diba? Yes. And sa giingon pa pod ni Ma'am Angie, no? Pizza Monsanto, art humanizes us. It keeps us in touch with our humanity and even spirituality.
Hi, Ma'am Jelly. Hi, Ma'am Jelly.
Diba? Atong mga atong viewers karon. So, no, it's really an inspiring and romantic, as I say, nga conversation this afternoon. And next Saturday again, do watch us. It's a celebration of Women's Month. So, and Disaster Month because January is March is that mara ko dibalik. So, thank you
Women's
so
Month,
much.
di ba, ma'am?
Yeah, Women's
so
Month
Women's
at the
Month,
same
yes.
time Disaster Preparedness Month. So, yun, this has been Angel Escunaculiera with Earl and Hobart Savior. Let us always remember, we only have one Earth. Let's always do our share, and we do that by keeping our conversations going. Before I forget, this is an anniversary of Bart and I meeting because the first time I met Bart was in 1996 when we were joining the National Theater Arts Festival. Ikalawang tagpo. We were both theater artists ang mga individual nga mga school. So, thank you so much. Take care. God bless and have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye, everyone.